Hey, what's going on, everybody? SC here, bringing you a bit of a crazy series here. We have in the bottom left Flash. Of course, we've done a ton of games from him very recently on his comeback trail. He's going to be going up against JyJ, the current ASL champion. We'll see how he handles this guy, this monstrous player, the guy who's on the top of the world right now. How is Flash going to take him on in TVT? I know that Flash is like a TVT god. He's been an innovator in TVT for a long time. One of his highest win rates is TVT historically. But this is a matchup that requires constant study. The meta is always shifting. So we'll see if the fundamentals of Flash can come through and beat the newer strategies and up-to-date play style of JyJ. Now, guys, I am not a Terran player. I played Terran years ago. And this was one of my least favorite matchups. You know, at least in the Zerg, if you're playing ZVZ, at least it's over quickly. That's what I'll say. That's probably my least favorite matchup when I'm playing Zerg is ZVZ, but at least it goes fast. Here, Terran versus Terran can go for an insane amount of time. It's incredibly draining to play. And I never really quite got the handle of it. So I'm going to do my best to give you guys some analytical commentary here. But it is what it is. This is coming from a Zerg player. So take it for what it is. We've got JyJ starting out here with a factory. On the other side, Flash has gone for this quick command center, gasless fast expand here. He's going to probably want to throw down a bunker soon because we're going to have a vulture coming across the map very soon for JyJ. And he's pulled off of gas here, only mining with one SCV. So he's looking to grab a fast expand for himself as well. Just now getting in here for the scout. JyJ sees what he's up against. We'll see how that changes his play here. Single marine was built for JyJ, and the barracks floating across the map for that scouting information. It'll be good for him to get into the main base here of Flash and see what the follow-up is going to be. Is it going to be 2 fact? Is it going to be fact plus starport? That is the important information here. First vulture is out, gonna clear out this SCV, block it from getting any further information here. It did see the command center though, so that's great info for Flash. Knowing that that's done, or excuse me, knowing that that's on the way means that he doesn't have to worry about a 2-fact push here. So he's gonna be feeling pretty good right now with his early economic advantage. We'll see if he can turn that into a win. Dealing a little damage here to this floating scout. This is the barracks is maybe the most useless building in Terran versus Terran, possibly. I guess maybe Academy is still very important because you do need the scanners. eBay is still important. You do need to build turrets. Barracks, after the first few marines, you never need to build another marine for the rest of the game. The only thing you need this barracks for is to enable you to build some more factories. That is it. That is the only reason you're going to need that. Looks like mines are on the way here. So pretty much the normal trade in TVT when you have openers like this. Flash gets the faster expansion. He gets the better economy here. Look, his SCV count already 2 ahead. Not that much further ahead than JyJ, but JyJ grabs the map control here. He gets mines out on the map. I'm actually impressed that we're only 2 SCVs ahead because that command center was way faster. It appears we've got a Wraith on the way here. Where is that starport? I saw a Wraith coming out, right? Or was that for JyJ? No. Where is this starport? Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't know how I missed that, but there it is. Wraith gonna be heading out on the map here. What do we have for the defenses? Air defense. I don't see anything, so that could be a problem. However, it appears that Flash is wanting to track down this barracks instead, which is a little bit odd. Could have come across the map, maybe killed a SCV or two, kind of extend that worker lead. And how did this happen? Now JyJ is ahead in workers, so just hitting his macro a little bit better here. You can see the difference in form between these two guys. One of them has been at the military, not playing any games of Broodwar. The other has been dominating in ASL. Oh, that was close. Very scary trying to move out against mines here, especially if they're stacked up. Luckily for him, he was able to gun those down with the 3 tanks, keeping his tanks alive here. Very, very important. Looks like a ton of vultures gonna run by here into the natural. This is a big move from JyJ. 4, 5, 6, maybe SCV's gonna go down. Even more are falling. Where are those tanks? There they are, coming back finally. My god, that's a lot of damage. Look at how far this SCV count has fallen here in the early game. 28 now to 44. A counter drop coming down. Gonna deal some damage of his own. 3 vultures, just enough to one-shot an SCV. One of them does get picked off, so now he's gonna have to go for 2 shots. And still dealing some damage here. Looks like he might get 1 more SCV. Just barely not gonna get it, looks like. And has evened out the SCV counts to a large extent, but still a big gap here between where JyJ is at and where Flash is. 30 about, what is this, 8 7 probe difference? That is a little bit rough here for Flash. He was supposed to have the economic lead. He does not have map control, so he's in behind in a lot of ways. A bunch more vultures make their way into the main. Must have been another drop here, a follow-up drop. Gets another couple of kills, evening that out just a little bit more. 34 to 38 now. And this army's moving around Flash's army. He sees the move out with those mines. He's doing this intentionally. Very interesting play here from JyJ. Does he have a Wraith on the way? Because if he had a Wraith on the way right now, that would be really hilarious. Oh, he's coming into the natural now. Gonna go after this bunker. A couple of tanks are going to siege up here. No, hasn't sieged up just yet. Oh, siege mode's not done for either player. Oh my god, no siege mode. Okay, there we go. Siege mode finally finishes. He's gonna try to shoot down these tanks, and oh, the surround is beautiful. JyJ loses everything here. His entire army cleaned up easily. That was like 2 tanks traded out for 4. So a big win here for Flash. I've never seen a player in the, like a pro player, try a move like that. Move their army around, intentionally around the opponent's army, and try to go into their natural. It seems obvious that you would get surrounded and killed there, but JyJ, he went for it anyway. It's like another dropship on the way here for Flash. It's probably not going to be anticipated right now for JyJ, and you can see, oh, he actually does have 1 Goliath in the main, so maybe he is expecting a play like this. Nothing in this dropship just yet. Should be filling that up with some vultures here shortly. Nice job cleaning out the mines. Oh, another run by here into the natural, but completely shut down for Flash, or by Flash, excuse me. Really nicely done there. still 6 workers behind, and JyJ actually behind in the supply. So you can see a pretty big army supply lead for Flash. Okay, another round pops out. Now JyJ ahead in supply. Some wraiths now coming out as well. Where's that dropship? Here it is. Drops coming in. He's gonna go after as many workers as he can. Seems like siege lines have not yet been set. Just a small siege line here. And another small siege line around this right-hand side. He hasn't actually sieged up the tanks just yet, but he may be thinking of doing so soon. Taking as much of the map as he can. JyJ gonna lose these tanks on high ground. Flash just barely able to hit that from range. JyJ reinforcing this position. Gonna force back the army of Flash. Flash gonna take center left. I love this play. He knows that his opponent at the moment does not have drops. He's actually banking wraiths right now, which is interesting because we haven't seen any Goliaths out of Flash. He could get overwhelmed here with the wraith play if he's not careful. Only one wraith here gets absolutely wrecked by 3-4 wraiths. So here comes another attack. JyJ gonna hit the long end of this what's it called, the long end of this tank line here on the edge. It's kind of how you want to do it. You want to go in like a T formation. When they're like this, you want to come in like this. Then you can wipe out as much of the tanks as possible without taking the full attack from the tanks. Here comes the wraiths. Gonna jump directly onto this tank. Immediately gonna get a few kills here. Flash not reacting and pulling back the tanks just yet. He's probably gauging his options here. He's actually gonna attack in. So coming in towards JyJ's natural. He's got overwhelming forces here. Wow, that one mine was so close. If that connects, it's a game changer right now, but he's gonna continue to push forward here. Flash gonna dive on top of these tanks in the natural. Looks like he might actually be able to set up here. Meanwhile, JyJ moving around this, and this is what I was talking about earlier. If there were wraiths earlier, it would have been kind of a good move, but as it stands now, the wraiths are out and Flash has committed here. So these tanks are all going to get cleaned up by the wraiths, and the reinforcements popping out of Flash are going to get killed immediately. Looks like this Valkyrie going to fall as well. That was Flash's plan, was to send out a Valkyrie to deal with the wraiths, and GG is called. Flash taps out. A technical takedown there by JyJ. Really, really cool stuff. That as Flash was pushing up, JyJ goes around the army. He sets up a contain here and uses his wraiths to finish off those tanks. It was looking a little dicey there for JyJ, but it was all part of the plan. He clears out the tanks with the wraiths and gets that nice position in the front, even picking off that Valkyrie. Really, really good stuff by him. Interesting moves. We're gonna jump into another game, guys. Game number 2 is coming right up. Here we go into game number 2. We got JyJ here in the top right hand corner. Oh, he's brown. No, it's not good. All right, JyJ is the red Terran. Down in the bottom right, we've got our blue Terran Flash. Got taken down a little bit quickly there in that last one. Interesting maneuvers there from JyJ. The wraith switch was really, really good, and the follow-up there, Flash kind of getting baited a little bit, getting a little over eager, decided to try to push in with wraiths hitting overhead, kind of hoping that he would be able to get his Valkyrie out on time to make that worthwhile, try to push back those wraiths. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if a Valkyrie even kills 4 wraiths, does it? Especially if you spread them. I really feel like the wraith DPS in the air is good enough to take those out. So I don't really know how Flash expected that to go, but he tapped out pretty quickly after that Valkyrie went down to the push there at the natural. A good game by JyJ, and we'll see how he follows that up. Looks like exactly the same build here from him, but Flash is going to switch things around here. He's pulled his SCVs off of that gas, looks like at exactly the same time as JyJ. He's going to be getting up his natural here pretty darn quickly. JyJ likewise going to get his natural going here shortly as well. And yeah, we're just going to have completely mirrored builds here. Absolutely mirrored. Vertical spawns as well, so the mining is exactly the same. Even all the mining patches are the same. It's like we are gonna have Flash choosing the right path for his SCV to head in, so he actually gets in here and gets some good information, whereas his opponent I don't think is going to be able to do the same. Flash is here on the ramp with his Marines, so I think this SCV actually can't get in, but he's going to see the command center started at pretty much exactly the same time. It seems like Flash got blocked a little bit because of his own Marine where it was placed. So his command center is like a few seconds later, but not by much. Now, guys, if you're trying to learn TVT, this is probably the build to practice, to learn how to do, because both these players are using it, and it's JyJ and Flash, man. These are the two of the best Terran players in the world. Obviously JyJ arguably the best at the current moment because he is the ASL champion, but Flash absolutely one of the best of all time. Maybe the best of all time. Actually, I'm not even gonna mince words. This is the best player of all time. So copying this build may not be a bad idea. Got a few units here in the front. 3 vultures and a marine, both still completely mirrored builds here. Of course, that command center finishing up just slightly slower for Flash. Means now we've got a slight economic lead here for JyJ, but it's nothing that a few lucky tank shots or mine hits can't turn around. It's still very, very close here. It looks like dropping the barracks in between these factories. I'm not clear what this does. I mean, everything can still flow here, so I don't think this is really a problem at all. Flash is gonna float in here as well. He sees everything. They're even going for speed at the same time as well. It's pretty hilarious, guys. Look at this. Only thing different right now is that we have 2 SCVs building right here for Flash, and it wasn't actually building anything for JyJ. No SCVs were being built at the time, so now it's switched back. 2 SCVs are building for JyJ, and he wasn't building SCVs. Okay. We are still constructing SCVs here. We're not cutting, because this is the moment where you can actually start to cut SCVs. We're only mining gas with 1 SCV, by the way, for both players. So both players going for this vulture war. It's gonna start to heat up here pretty quickly as the speed finishes. 1 tank on either side. Here we go, taking the engage, but JyJ taking the much better fight here, I feel. The tank goes down, and yeah, JyJ just dominates that fight. He got the first volley, and he pulled back the tank perfectly there. Wow, Flash just taps out. That's crazy to me, guys. That is crazy. The Flash just left that quickly. What the hell? Let's quickly go back and just take another look at that engagement, so that we can maybe try to learn something from this. Looks like almost exactly the same number of vultures here. Pull up that tab. We got 7 vultures on this side. Oh, we got 9 vultures here. Okay, the next 2 are coming up, but they're not quite here yet. Let's see if he takes the engage before they arrive. Oh, gets the first tank shot. And yeah, there are 7 vultures here and 9 vultures on JyJ's side. Also, JyJ gonna target down vultures here, whereas it looks like Flash was actually targeting nothing. He was like hitting a bunch of different stuff. And then immediately JyJ targets down one of these vultures. Okay, this one actually took a few hits, but none of these others have been targeted, and the tank immediately gets targeted. Tank is pulled back here for JyJ. Lost quite a bit of HP. I think the tank of Flash was actually targeted onto that for a moment there, but all of the vultures right now are firing on that tank. He picks that off with his tank, and now he's got the advantage in almost all ways here. The speed as well didn't finish in time for Flash. He actually engaged here before the speed was finished. A bit funny here from Flash, really. You know, he landed this barracks here. He was hoping to block some stuff from coming out to reinforce, but he actually attacked in. He chose this engagement with less vultures, and the JyJ got the first volley as well. So everything kind of going wrong for Flash all in one foul swoop. JyJ takes that game away, and he is now up 2-0. Well, this series not exactly what I was anticipating going into a TVT. A couple of quick games so far. We still got plenty more to go. JyJ here in the top left. We got Flash in the bottom right. Gonna be on cross map positions here. What map are we on now? We are on a Fighting Spirit. So less bases around the map. Something to mention if we go into a late game TVT here is that we don't have as many bases as something like Vermeer or Polypoid. Just a limited number. They split this map. It's very unlikely that we'll ever get to Battlecruiser here. Just because you're probably going to mine out before that becomes a real possibility. JyJ, is he just going to stick with that same build? It's been working very, very well for him. I'd like to see Flash mix it up, though, because it seems like JyJ just kind of has that down. He got the vultures out quicker. He got the command center out faster. His economic edge was there, even though the builds were exactly identical. The mining was identical. Everything was identical. Flash wasn't able to take that game away from him, and it kind of makes sense, right? Flash is a bit rusty. He hasn't played a whole lot as of yet. He's just kind of making the comeback now. He's not going to be able to keep up with someone who's been grinding out games and practicing for ASL non-stop over the past 3 years. So this is expected. This is what we anticipate. And actually, both players gonna go for Flash's build in game number 1. They're both going gasless fast expand. So very interesting stuff here. JyJ gonna be on even footing once again. I mean, he was able to take away the win even when Flash had the advantage in the economy, but now he's got the exact same build as Flash. That was an easy win in game number 2, so we'll see if Flash can bring out something a little bit different here. Find a way to perhaps take a game off of JyJ. We want to get a good series here, guys. We don't want another Flash versus Snow series, all right? That was quite a lopsided first series to come back to pro TVP. Flash was not ready for that, it seemed. We'll see if he is prepared. This was his best matchup, if I'm remembering correctly. Terran versus Terran. Flash was an absolute god in his day. And his day was not that long ago, and it was a long, long day indeed, from like 2007 until like what, 2021. That's quite the day, boys. That is quite the day. He had a hell of a run up until going to the military. So we'll see if he can take this game. He's actually gone for 3 factory here, whereas... Oh yeah, actually JyJ's got 3 factory as well, but he's just got his first factory done a little bit sooner. Not going for the add-on as well. He's gonna have a vulture out before Flash. Looks like SCV gonna get in here, spot everything as well. It will make its way into the main base. First vulture is out. He knows there's no bunker, and the vulture from Flash is on the way here. I think it should pop out just barely in time to meet this vulture in the front. I think so. These Marines need to get out here though too to turn the tides in this vulture versus vulture battle. Okay, vulture is going to be turned around and head to the side. The ion thrusters vulture movement speed is on the way here. What a few vultures are popping out. Double supply depot from both players. We're continuing with this vulture production here 100%. The Marines out on the map. Sniping these is pretty strong right now. If you can come out here with a few vultures and just get those quick kills, can be very, very good for you. But he is going to fall back, just try to kill his opponent's barracks as well. Look at JyJ hiding his vultures just out of range, whereas the vultures from Flash are sitting here protecting the Marines. That's an interesting play here. JyJ hoping that Flash will come up here to try and, you know, kill these Marines. And then he'll have a shot at jumping upon the vultures of Flash. Flash now he's done the ion thrusters. Yeah, he's done the speed upgrade. Looks like speed gonna come up for JyJ now. Tank is being built and another factory coming up for Flash. Do we have a 4th factory? Oh my god, 4 factories already done here for JyJ. It feels like JyJ one step ahead at every point in the game, except for here, SCVs. Cutting SCVs. JyJ able to get that factory out, but he's a little bit behind in terms of his overall SCV count. Some vultures gonna move around the backside here, see if they can backstab while Flash is moving forward. He's kind of out of position right now, and he's moving this tank as well. Looks like vultures are gonna get in here for some kills. 1 kill, 2 kill, 3 kill, 4 kill, 5 kill. Evening out this at worker advantage is JyJ. That is a big win here for him because he had, look at that, 40 to 40. Oh my goodness. JyJ, man, what a beast. And Flash gonna be kind of forced to move forward here, and this plays right into JyJ's hands as well. Mine's gonna be thrown down here in the middle of the map. Looks like Flash gonna rush forward to try and kill those off. He really wants to prevent the mines from slowing down his attack. He's gonna come up. Oh god, that's not good. Oh god. Oh no, 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 no. You gotta fall back here, Flash. A mine hit, it lands on each tank here. He's gonna come forward. There's the same number of units, Flash, and you've already eaten the mine. What are you doing? He's gonna try to push up here. Tanks are gonna siege. This is a lot of stacked units here, really clumped up here for JyJ, but he's just got way too much, I feel. Targeting down the vultures one by one. Tanks are doing some pretty good work here on the side of Flash, and actually he's getting pretty close to pushing through this. However, JyJ, his rally point so much closer. The mine connects, and he's gonna force this back. 1 tank here for JyJ, none for Flash, and man, this is kind of crazy. Actually, Flash now ahead again in that worker count. Looks like exactly the same number of units here, same number of vultures on this side, and Flash is actually starting to push through a little bit. Oh, it was so close. He was almost able to get up there and actually kill that. He doesn't have mines just yet, so he can't actually kill this tank because there's vultures continuously rallying, targeting that down would be catastrophic. So many vultures here. Gonna try to push forward once again. He's going for it, diving on top of these tanks and vultures. 2 tanks are here, but this is way too many mines. He's gonna get big connects on all of these. He kills the tank as well. Drops some more mines here right at the bottom of the ramp. Gonna kill some more of these vultures. Going after the SCVs now. Already JyJ is so far behind in that SCV count. 2 tanks are on the way here. More and more are going to go down. More and more SCVs falling in the natural. Another tank comes down the ramp and dies. Tank on the high ground is going to siege up, but this is way too much economic damage. Flash, I think he's just barely done it. How did he make this happen? I think he had an extra factory there somewhere. He must have slipped it in. Yeah, he had a 5th factory. So managing with his extra economy to get that 5th factory out a little bit quicker. And overwhelmed just barely with the rallying vultures. JyJ just not quite able to hold on during all that. Despite getting those beautiful mine hits, he still was not able to break that attack. And Flash just taking huge advantages here on the map. He's going to throw out a whole bunch of mines in the front. Try to contain his opponent. Looks like a nice scan there going to go down. Flash going to run all the way around this. I think he can get in here and kill even more SCVs now. There are more tanks popping out, so maybe he doesn't want to run in just yet, but as JyJ moves forward, looks like he wants to take the 3rd base in this location. Flash has already got his almost finished over here at the bottom center. He's gonna have to match these tanks moving southward though. Coming down with a ton of vultures. Gonna get here on top of these vultures of JyJ. Chasing back the tanks now. This is way too many vultures. He can actually start killing tanks pretty readily at this point. Some Goliaths coming up. Clear out the vultures so quickly. He's gonna drop a mine here right beside these 2 tanks. Big explosion. Gonna take out one of those. The Goliaths pushing forward here. Flash is in a huge commanding position now with 68 SCVs and 112 supply to just 69. JyJ is in so much trouble here. He is moments away from a tap out point. I think he's got a drop ship trying to get some damage done with that. I don't know if it's going to be enough though. Even if he kills like 20 SCVs, he's still going to have a deficit. That is insane to think about. 70 SCVs here for Flash. JyJ just not able to keep up in this one. He's going for cloak. He's throwing everything at the wall to see what will stick. He's trying to get a tech advantage here. Figure out some way that he can come back in this game. But I think that Flash going for Wraiths himself. 2-port Wraith actually. It's going to be so hard for him to make any sort of comeback here. We've got +2 on the way now for JyJ. +2 gonna follow up here for Flash soon. Looks like the Wraith right on top of this dropship immediately. And look at how beautiful the Sim City is here for Flash. You can't even get these vultures out to deal any SCV damage. And everything is going to be cleaned here. I don't know. I think that JyJ might as well just tap out at this point. Flash is so far ahead. It's crazy right now. It is just crazy. Of course, there are miracle comebacks in TVT, but this would be a miracle beyond miracles. 60 supply advantage here, 20 SCV advantage here for Flash. He's got everything going in his favor. We're gonna have to see the most elaborate mine connections here to make a comeback. But Flash, I don't think he's going to give it to him. His scanners are working overtime right now. He's setting up the contain. We've got a tank line here at the south. We've got a tank line here in the east. Kind of trapping JyJ onto these 4 bases. You can, of course, slip out through here, and maybe he will later on try to get a position here, maybe on top of high ground over this location. But Flash is going to take this side of the map all at once right now. He's going to go ahead, spread out, take all that map. JyJ going to try to push southward, see if he can break the southern flank here. Flash getting some great connections with the tanks, not allowing this to push forward easily. Loses only one tank for quite a few vultures, and the vultures of Flash may be able to break this. There's only 5 tanks here, and no supporting units to help them out. We've got a few units out here in the middle. Oh, some wraiths are going to work on the tanks on the right-hand side, so getting some advantages here. But look at that, 5 wraiths to 3. He's gonna come up here. There is that cloak, but the moment he sees the cloak, he can just scan. JyJ taps out. I don't know what he scanned there, what JyJ scanned there, but he saw something that he didn't like. Maybe it was all the race that were coming from Flash, that he decides better to just leave now. Save some energy, possibly for the next game here, guys. We're gonna jump into game number 3 as Flash fires back. He takes 1 game in the series. Can he get some more here? We're gonna find out. Okay, game number 4 coming at you, guys. We've got JyJ spawning here in the top left, the purple Terran, versus his opponent. Of course, it's Flash in the bottom left, the red Terran. I've just had a little delivery here, guys, and I've got a boom. Finally, for the first time, a microphone boom is in my room. Boom boom in my room, boys. We've got our hands free for the first time in a replay cast here. I think this is gonna take my replay cast to the next level. I can finally use my keyboard and my mouse at the same time. It's crazy. No, it's not that crazy. I probably should have done this a long time ago, but you know, I move around a lot, and having a boom arm is not very practical if you're moving around. But now that I'm kind of situated here in Japan, I thought I could go ahead and pick one up. And I've done so, and I'm feeling pretty good about it right now. I'm gonna be honest. Never used one before, but it feels nice. Very nice. And we've got a little bit of a mix-up here from JyJ after getting taken down in that last game. He's gonna throw a barracks out here in the middle. Now, this is not a super fast barracks. This is more the barracks you place out in the front, just so that you can float your barracks a little bit closer, a little bit faster to scout your opponent's main. And it looks like JyJ gonna scout in the correct direction here with his SCV as well. Go ahead, he sees that SCV there and turns around. All right, he's gonna head and maybe chase that SCV. I'm not sure what he's doing there with that. The Marine gonna head out on the map. Is he trying to catch an SCV or something? Where are these Marines going? Oh no, did he? He thinks that Flash was actually scouting with that SCV and that he's actually down in the bottom right. He's gonna get up here and realize that he's been a complete fool. Yeah, no, Flash isn't down there. He's actually in the bottom left, and with 3 Marines out here, I mean, Flash only produced 1, and he's already floating his racks, so we could get some damage here. Flash wants to throw in his command center, and this is going to be completely denied if we go forward with these Marines. Looks like he sees the SCV on the low ground, ready to take the command, and he does back away for now. But, I mean, 3 Marines wrecks 1 Marine pretty heavily, and there's a machine shop coming up. I thought there was going to be a vulture popping out, and I think that JyJ thought so too. That's why he's backing away with all this. He's got a vulture coming up. This is incredibly greedy from Flash here, building 1 Marine and going directly into machine shop, now throwing down his command center, and he's not going to get punished for this. Surprisingly not going to get punished. That is crazy. JyJ could have killed this SCV. He could have forced the cancel on the command center, you know, forced this Marine to run away. He could have even forced the SCVs to be pulled off the line to fight this, and as it stands, he's gonna get in here, he's gonna kill the 1 pro, but a tank is out. Tank wrecks this little force here from JyJ. Oh man, this sucks. This really sucks for JyJ. Flash is getting away with murder here because of the scouting, the poor scouting from JyJ. Too bad he didn't move just a little bit farther up this ramp. Looks like Vulture gets picked off as well. Nice job trying to land the barracks, but this doesn't block. Gonna block the tank from getting away here, but it does manage to get up that ramp. And now with 2 tanks out, he's gonna finish this command center 100%. Now, JyJ's command is already done. He's already mining off of it, but the tech lead for sure goes to Flash here. 2 tanks already. He's had that machine shop for longer. He's gonna grab 2 more factories here. On the other side, only 1 factory from JyJ. He can almost afford to get a second one going here. He's got 3 SCVs in that gas now. Only 1 SCV on the gas for Flash, so it looks like he's gonna follow this up with a lot of vultures. Vulture speed is researching. More vultures are popping out here. 3 factory to 2 factory, and looks like Flash is coming straight across the map. The mines are not done. JyJ wanted to get mines out here so that they could prevent some sort of push out like this from coming across the map. But the push is already here. Flash with 3 tanks gonna start to put on this pressure. He knows exactly what to do in these situations. It's so impressive. Tanks getting some good shots here. This tank hasn't even gotten a single shot off yet. All these tanks in full HP, and he's already picked off a couple of SCVs. Oh my god, the SCVs are blocking. The tank gets taken down. A great turnaround here from Flash. He's only taken 1 shot from a single tank so far. This mine could be huge. Looks like those 2 vultures out in the front were actually taken out for JyJ. And this vulture gonna go down as well. It looks like, no, it stays alive. Oh, the mine is so close here. It's not going to activate. And the tank gets taken down. GG. Flash takes another game, tying up the series. Wow, Flash, so lucky this game. He drew a pair of aces. And his and the flop was fantastic. JyJ just getting completely rolled here by the luck of the draw. Of course, not getting the proper scouting information here was super important as well, and not pushing with the 3 Marines. Why didn't he push with the 3 Marines? He could have forced the cancel on the command. It would have been so good. I guess he just thought that there was a vulture coming. He didn't want to lose all of his Marines to that first vulture, but Flash with the ultimate greed, the ultimate weapon with the ultimate greed there, paying off dividends. 1 mine connection there could have changed the entire game, by the way, but these mines not connecting on anything gives Flash an easy win, and we'll be going on to game number 5. Okay, here we go. Another one, boys. Another one. JyJ versus Flash. JyJ up here. Flash down here. This is what it is. Red versus blue. This has been one of the fastest TVT series, I think, of all time, man. This is crazy fast. Hilarious, actually, that I started off this series by saying that, you know, ZVZ was quick. I don't like ZVZ, but at least that's quick. Whereas TVT is a long series. But these guys proven to us today that, you know, TVT doesn't have to be long. It can absolutely be ended very, very quickly in the right conditions. And it's been the right conditions quite a few games in a row here. We're now in game number 5, and I think the longest game we've had is like 12 minutes. That is a little bit ridiculous when it comes to high-level TVT. But, you know, I guess that's the way she goes. Sometimes it's a mirror matchup with, again, mirror builds here. Where now on Eclipse, both players able to scout each other very, very quickly. Going for gasless expands here. Oh, but Flash getting just a little bit more greedy here. He has gone for the expansion before his barracks. That is wild. So Flash mind gaming just a little bit here, managing to get those small edges. And that's going to grant him a big economic lead here going forward. You can see the command centers quite a bit earlier here. There's the gas coming up for both players. Slightly sooner for JyJ, but this is pretty much a fat L for JyJ here with these openers. Flash is going to have everything he needs to hang on against JyJ by the time it comes out. He's always going to have a little bit more economy. See, there's one Marine coming across the map. He's trying to do something. But there's going to be a Marine for Flash coming out here in a second. He's not going to lose any SCVs to this. And he's going to be able to produce a lot more SCVs. He's one SCV behind, but there you go. He corrects that. More SCVs are going to be popping out now. Oh, this is done as well, too. So really close here to the timings from Flash is JyJ. Third Marine is going to come across the map. He's looking to do some damage. Fourth Marine as well. Looking to punish here if Flash goes for another quick machine shot. But look at that. Flash makes a fourth Marine. He's going to be fine with some SCV support. And the fourth Marine here, you can't do anything with these four Marines. When it was one Marine, when it was just that one solitary Marine in that last game, we could have seen some damage from JyJ, but in this case, it's just not gonna happen. He's moving forward with three Marines. He's trying to like fake him out a little bit, like, oh no, I don't have a fourth Marine. That would never happen. And then here comes four Marines from Flash. So the fake out from JyJ not gonna pay off here. Looks like he gets one SCV, and from the high ground you can't actually fight here. Flash was trying to block those Marines from getting away and maybe get a couple of kills there, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. JyJ here going for 3 fact follow-up. Same Z's here from Flash. Oh, a fourth factory pops. And do we have 4 factories from Flash? Not just yet. So a bit of a divergence here in their decision making for this game. Going on to 3 gas mining here from JyJ, and only 1 gas mining for Flash as well. There's the 4th factory. It's a bit slower, but we will have the same number of factories here soon. The only difference is that we're gonna have those ion thrusters much faster. It looks like JyJ thinking about crossing the map right now with 2 vultures. Maybe try to jump on top of these Marines, but there's already 2 vultures here for Flash as well. A lot more damage on this barracks here than on Flash's barracks. He sees more vultures coming out here. There are 4 so far. This is going to be another vulture war scenario, boys. 4 vultures versus 4 vultures. Actually, this is 5 vultures versus 4. And then a 5th is about to join here. JyJ seems just a little bit quicker on the draw, a little bit quicker and more clean with his build. You can see 66 to 58 and more SCVs as well, despite Flash getting the better end of that build order. Not able to keep quite up with the SCV count here. Can see the rust on Flash's play just in visual terms here. The numbers are just not quite adding up. He should have more, and JyJ even has speed, and he's got more vultures here. Looks like he's going to be gunning down some of these Marines. The Marines being focused a little bit better by JyJ. Those do need to be killed as quickly as possible, but Flash with the upper hand here on the high ground. Looks like he may be able to win. No, another reinforcement line from JyJ makes its way up here. He's going to start to chase things down as well. Flash retreating, trying to get away from this, trying to get closer to his reinforcement train if he can. I like the supply depot out here. That's a bit funny. I've never seen that before, but a supply depot in this situation does allow for some funny micro here. It forces JyJ to always target. If he doesn't target some of his vultures in the back, maybe firing on that supply depot. We'll see if that takes any damage throughout this game to see how much of a difference it actually makes. Chasing down now vultures, more vultures here for JyJ. He wants to get on the high ground. He does mount this high ground. Not too many vultures remaining here for Flash. He is getting up his rallies though, and look at throughout all this, a reversal in the situations that we've seen previously. JyJ hitting his macro, whereas Flash seems to be slipping a little bit. 34 to 43. Quite an advantage here for JyJ, and more factories are coming down. What have we got here? 5 factories for Flash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's this? A barracks. Oh, he lost his barracks. Oh, no. JyJ lost his barracks during that. I actually didn't see that. I guess it was burning. Flash's barracks still alive here. He does take a good trade there with the vultures. This is way too many vultures coming up from JyJ. The high ground is going to help out a bit, but the surround is a little bit too strong. JyJ getting some good kills here, and as soon as things start to go in his favor, they really go in your favor. Pushing all these vultures back. He's gonna get more kills on the retreat as well. This is brutal damage for Flash right now. He's lost so much. I think this is the point where you kind of have to transition, or at least you have to think about transitioning. Looks like he will lose the supply depot out in the front. He's gonna try and run up here, take some pot shots before all the vultures of JyJ join the fight, but this is way too much for JyJ. He's targeting perfectly here, and all the vultures are going to go down. There's no transition now for Flash. He's gonna have to tap out. GG is called. JyJ, Vulture Warrior here, able to take out Flash in another quick game, guys. 9 minutes. Crazy that we're seeing so many fast games out of these two. They're not willing to take it to the late game. Each and every time, the moment one of them gets an advantage, they're able to take it to a win. Some clean play here out of JyJ. Continuously producing, continuously rallying, and always getting the upper hand in these vulture fights. I wonder if Flash will continue to go head to head against him in vulture wars. We'll see. Let's find out. Okay, this time JyJ spawning in the bottom left. We got Flash in the top right, so a little bit of a role reversal here, a spawn reversal on this map. It is once again Eclipse and Flash. After losing that match, he is down 1 game. It's 3-2 here, and this kind of crazy aggressive TVT play continues. Are we going to see him try to turtle up more? He did so well with the tank play last game, or that 4th game, excuse me, but I feel like that was more due to the oversights from JyJ rather than the brilliance of Flash. I think JyJ has adapted correctly to that, making sure he had those extra Marines to attempt at least to punish some early play, like a very early command center there with few Marines. He was ready to go that time, but there was too many Marines for Flash. He still managed to win in a longer game. Looks like Flash not gonna take ACC first this game. He's gonna go back to the barracks play, and I mean, I guess that makes sense. It didn't pay off for him in that last game. I mean, he did get the early advantage, but it didn't really seem like that much of an advantage because JyJ was so clued in on his macro. He was so perfect with his decision making and how to get back into that game, how to close that gap. It really didn't feel like Flash had all that much of a lead, so we'll see what Flash decides to do from this barracks expand. JyJ getting the scout in here. Sees no command center. No command center first. That's good. He's actually like looking to block a command center from coming down, it looks like. But now that the Marine is out, that's not going to be a possibility. JyJ and Flash dropping their command centers nearly at the same time here. Exactly mirrored builds once again. And I honestly feel like this favors JyJ. Now, I would never say this if Flash was in shape, that mirrored builds would favor JyJ over Flash, but in this case, I feel like you gotta say it. Oh, he's gonna get it. Oh, that was a beautiful kill there, chasing it down. You have no idea how hard that is to do, guys. If you're a Protoss player or even a Zerg player, or you haven't played for a long time, getting a SCV with 0 range to hit something while running forward, while chasing it down, it's so hard. And this SCV of JyJ's managed to make it happen. That's very, very impressive stuff. Just showing his caliber here, truly. And these guys are ramped up right now. 400 APM from JyJ, 330 from Flash. You can tell his wrist is feeling much better here after taking the 2-year break. I think that's going to be one of the big things for Flash. That 2-year wrist rest here from him. It's going to make a big difference, I think, guys. Like, we know that his wrist in the final ASL that he played in was on fire, man. His wrist was very, very badly damaged. He's had some surgeries on that. He's tried to get that repaired, but it's been a problem, a thorn in his side for quite a while. I hope that he's been doing his stretches and making sure that his wrist is recovering properly, because that could be a big factor in the return of Flash. If he's able to compete at the highest level once again, it'll be because his wrist healed properly over this break. And now a 4th factory coming down. Yeah, Flash definitely has the game knowledge and the ability to fight at the highest level, to take games off of the strongest players in the world. But does he have the endurance anymore at his advanced age? I mean, he's like 30 now, right? 28, something like that. Does he have the endurance anymore to play, 10 games a day or 20 games a day? Looks like he's going to go for, 1 kill, 1 Marine. But that is not a great trade. 1 Marine for 1 Vulture here in the early game is a horrible trade for JyJ. It's not going to allow him to keep this barracks alive, or just, sometimes you want to kill the Marines just so this barracks can endlessly scout your opponent's main base. But he's still got 2 Marines left alive, and he lost a Vulture, so he's already losing the Vulture wars here. Both players going for mirrored builds. We've got both players going for speed, with 4 factories on either side. A 5th factory coming down here for JyJ. 5th factory on the way for Flash as well. So still completely mirrored builds. But Flash managed to get an early kill on a Vulture. So that makes a big difference here. A very, very big difference indeed. Oh, he's going to kill one of his own Marines so he can slip out another Vulture. It looks like JyJ was behind on his supply depot. He needs to get those supplies on time here. The Vulture macro is so tight. It's so dangerous to fall behind in the Vulture number. He's got to be very careful about that. Looks like Flash, he's getting a view here. He sees no Vultures in this little area, and with these 5 Vultures, he may try to slip by here. Try to slip by, maybe get into the main, maybe just kill a bunch of SCVs in the natural. He's already behind in SCVs, as seems customary in these situations. He's going to build a bunker. I love this. Doing the run by, you're going to lose Vultures. So building a bunker on the other side ensures that you won't die to a counterattack. Looks like he's going to get 1, 2, 3, maybe SCVs, 4, 5. No, not going to be targeting there. More Vultures going to slip out on the map while this attack is going on. 3 Vultures going to get over here to the left-hand side. He may be thinking of doing another attack here. JyJ going to press his advantage now that 5 Vultures have gone down with no trades in return. He's going to go for this attack here. Vultures getting into the natural, going to kill a ton of probes. No SCVs on this bunker, unfortunately, and the surface area is much better for JyJ. This bunker is eating so much of this damage, though. Lot of SCVs going down. Looks like Vultures are going to return home. He knows that this is on a razor's edge right now, whether he can win this fight or not. He's going to bring back some Vultures, and actually Flash going to win this. JyJ taps out a brilliant strategy here for winning the Vulture war. Flash, that bunker was incredibly clutch. Building that while going for the run by, guys. Terran players, take notes right now. Get your notepads out, boys. This is Flash. He's teaching us the ways of how to take down stronger Terran players. Like, undisputably, JyJ has got to be stronger than Flash right now just because of the lack of recent practice. But his games and his smarts are what's making the difference in these games. You know, JyJ able to hit his macro faster, better, have more vultures out at an earlier time. Flash, with the technical play, able to take the win anyway. I love it. We're going to go on to another game, guys. More games, more sets of JyJ versus Flash. All tied up here once again. Flash spawning here in the bottom right, JyJ in the top left. Unreal, these two guys going 3-3. Just back and forth wins in crazy aggressive games. I never want this series to end, boys. This is fantastic. We'll see what JyJ decides to do here in this game. I think we're on Polypoid, though I'm not 100% sure. I actually forgot the macro for this. Yeah, it is Polypoid. What is it? Alt-Z. Okay, I'm never going to remember that. It is what it is. We'll just use the tab when we need it. At least I've managed to memorize these anyway. How much can you ask from a man? We're putting out games every single day. We've got plenty more to go as well. Flash has been gaming up a storm, man. I know you might be getting tired of Flash games by now. I've got some other games waiting in the wings too, but I thought that this and these series were of the utmost importance to get out to you as soon as possible. A lot of people are interested to see the return of Flash, and so I'm trying to respond to that want. We'll be getting back to some other games, other sets, other players here coming up soon, though. As JyJ throwing down the barracks here in the main. No gas here from Flash. Okay. Another gasless fast expand from Flash. We'll see how this works out for him. It seems that JyJ, even if he goes for the gas versus gasless, he seems to be able to maneuver it into a winning situation pretty much every time versus Flash. Although this should be, you know, advantage Flash, no matter which way you look at it. JyJ has managed to get more SCVs out quicker. He's able to hit those macro cycles just a little bit more cleanly and even out every scenario here. Like I said before, it feels like when Flash and JyJ in their current form are on even builds, when they're doing mirror builds, it feels like JyJ is just ahead a little bit. But then when I say that, Flash finds ways to eke out wins surprisingly in each game. Looks like only 2 Marines going to be produced for Flash this time. How many do we have from JyJ? Only the 1. A little bit more optimized here for JyJ. The first vulture is starting to be produced now. Factory on the way here for Flash. Will he go for a bunker? Yes, bunker here in the front. Gonna have the barracks floating forward, I think, just to be placed here to create that wall in. We might need to see a supply depot behind this as well, just to make sure that speed vultures can't slip by here. That first vulture out on the map, where is it? Okay, it's here. It's gonna deny this scout as it comes in. And a second factory here from Flash. Barracks still quite a ways away from scouting this play, so Flash has it masked for now. 2 SCV advantage thus far for Flash, so getting himself a bit of a lead here in the early game, as expected with these openers. How is JyJ going to make up this deficit? Well, with mines and map control, it appears he's going to be throwing down mines out here in the front. Flash has a third factory on the way. It appears he wants to play. He wants to dance with the JyJ here. Vulture Wars incoming once again here as both players pump up that vulture number. No third factory for JyJ just yet. Flash feeling confident here that he can win with his superior decision making. A vulture war against JyJ, who has the vulture advantage here in the early game with just superior macro. Maybe Flash can overcome this early game. The extra vultures of JyJ find a way in and deal some damage. Looks like a fourth factory going to be coming down here as well. JyJ's third just nearly about to finish, with the fourth already on the way. Flash is going to retain a vulture lead here for quite a while. Here we go, coming across the map. He's going to catch one vulture out on the map. How many vultures is it? 5 to 5, but the first vulture for Flash goes down first, and 2 more vultures arrive. So JyJ taking the better trade here, killing more vultures than his opponent. However, we are going to have more vultures from Flash. Oh my god. Another factory coming up here. We're going to 5 factory right away. 4 factory here from JyJ. So before the 4th even finishes for Flash, he starts another. It's going to continue here with the Vulture Wars. This bunker going to help out a lot. If he starts to lose the fight, he can retreat to that location. But he is going to have a ton of vultures out here, actually allowing JyJ to take the SCV lead momentarily, maybe cutting a few SCVs to try and get these factories out a little bit earlier. Now with 5 vultures on the way at the same time, the barracks finally floating here towards the main, but he doesn't see everything. He does not see the number of factories here, so JyJ may be a little bit surprised to see how much vultures are coming across the map, how many vultures are coming out here. He's going into an armory and academy for himself, but Flash has no such plans. He is going to try and win right here, right now, with a huge vulture number. If this finishes and a couple of Goliaths pop out in time, I think JyJ should hold this. But it's going to come down to this first fight. Flash can come in here and actually take the fight away from the high ground, but he's going to go around the lower side. He's actually going to get onto the high ground pretty easily. A lot of vultures here for Flash. A lot of them are not firing in the background, though. Oh, God, this is overwhelming numbers, though. JyJ being forced back into his natural. He's going to try and fight here with the concave, though. Flash going to overwhelm his opponent. No way to win from here. JyJ taps out, and Flash takes the series 4-3. Very nicely done here. That's so impressive, seeing him take down the ASL champion like this in a TVT series. JyJ definitely showing his caliber in some of these games, but Flash a little bit outsmarting his opponent throughout, able to take him down. Really, really good stuff from him. I hope he continues to improve, and I hope that his wrist is feeling good. Guys, that's the end of our series. I know, 7-game TVT. I think this recording is going to be less than an hour long, surprisingly enough, but that's the way that she goes sometimes. These guys were not interested in playing long games. They just wanted to vulture war until the end of time. Only time that Flash, or that we saw something else, was with Flash and I guess with that tank attack, and then of course with those tank battles in the mid game, the early mid game there in the first couple of games. But everything after that was just Vulture Wars. Kind of funny way to play out this series against two of the strongest macro players ever to play the race. Just battling it out, duking it out in the early game and taking each other down. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope that my casting wasn't too bad from a Jaren perspective. I'm coming at this from the Zerg point of view, of course. I do not have that speciality. I do not have those, you know, hundreds of games of TVT played under my belt. So I hope it wasn't too bad here. And if you did enjoy this series, make sure to check out the channel for more. Make sure to like and subscribe as well. It really helps me out with the algorithm. A lot of you guys have been supporting recently, leaving a lot of comments. I love that. I read every single comment, by the way, and I reply to most of them. So, you know, if you want to leave me a message, definitely think about putting a comment in the description down below, guys. Type GG in the chat if you can't think of anything to say. It helps me out. I will see you guys in the next game, guys. Much love. Peace out.